Key first appearances, great story, or beautiful cover art? Which one of these comic books do you own? Go grab your vibe juice and meet us back here in the comic room. We got a lot to talk about. Hey, what's up, everybody? And welcome back to another episode of Keep It Comics. As always, I am your humble host, C3. And I want to thank each and every one of you for stopping by and checking out the channel. Yes, I am back with another top 10 list and market update for you. Yes, for you, the comic book community. So make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and ring the bell so every time I drop a video, you wonderful people will get that notification. All right? We've got a top 10 list that I know you're going to be excited about, so I'm not going to hold you up. We're going to dive right on in and start at number 10. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, it's still good vibes only. So check your nonsense at the door. We are only here for the love of the hobby. At the list at number 10, this title just came out last week, so it's still new, and I got some information I want to share with you. Let's talk about Ultimate Spider-Man, issue number 1, and this is the Marco Checchetto cover. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, the reason for this book, it is the first appearance of Richard and Amy Parker. Yeah, it's been going crazy, flying off the shelves. It has a 63% increase in copies that have sold so far. Average price for a raw copy is $56. Average price for a graded copy is $75. Now, so far, there is one 9.8 that has been sold on the secondary market. There's been a total of 117 sales so far for raw copies. We also had a high sale that took place back in June 15th of 2024, where that 9.8 sold for $75, ladies and gentlemen. All right, so fair market value has it resting at $56 for a raw copy in near mint condition. And after check and go collect, I didn't see any universal grades on the census, but that 9.8 came from somewhere. So maybe it's a CBCS, or maybe, I don't know. Maybe it's a PGX. Not too fond of those. But there is a 9.8 that's sold. But I'm going to keep you guys updated with this book. I'm going to continue to watch it because it's getting a lot of love on the secondary market. And if you're interested in Ultimate Spider-Man issue number 1, keep your eye on it because it's moving on the secondary market. All right. At the list at number 9. This is a strike while the iron is cold moment, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, fresh out the gate, right? We're talking about Batman, issue number 171. And this is the first appearance of the Riddler since 1948. Yes, a beautiful book. Always been excited about this vibrant, colorful cover. It's popping purple, pinkish, whatever it is. It's a fluorescent whatever. I just love this cover, right? This book is down right now 0.6%, and the average price for a raw copy is $423. Average price for a graded copy is $635. We've had a total of 647 sales of this particular book that has changed hands on the secondary market, with a high sale of $41,000 that took place back in 2020 for CGC 9.6. Now, I know that's a little steep for a lot of our pockets, but fair market value has this book resting at $423 for a raw book in very good condition. Yes, and speaking of good condition, right now would be a great condition for you guys to like, subscribe, ring that bell, join the community, have a lot of fun with us, and stick around to the end because we're going to let you know who won last week's Keep It Comics giveaway. All right? We're here for the love. We do it for the culture, baby. We're just having fun. All right? So join the Keep It Comics community. Hit that like button. Batman, issue number 171, ladies and gentlemen. At the list at number 8, this is one of my favorite titles. Star Wars, The High Republic, issue number 1. I was excited when this book first came out. It's got tons of first appearances. First appearance of Vildermac, first appearance of Mathia Cathey, Tay Serac, Sunshine, Torin Miak. There's just tons of first appearances in this book, so you can't go wrong getting this for the low buy-in of $6. Average price for the raw copy is just $6. 61% increase in copies that have sold so far, with the average graded copy right now going for roughly about $40. There's been 272 sales of this book that has changed hands on the secondary market, with a high sale of $121 back in March of 2023, where that book was a 9.8 and it sold for $121, right? $121. That is an excellent price point for buy-in for such a great story. Really loving how Star Wars is expounding on their universe, really filling it out, putting a lot of new characters out there too, also for us to fall in love with. This is a great book. Fair market value has it resting at $6 for a raw copy in near mint condition. So excellent price point for buying. Strike while the iron is cold. It saves you a lot of money. That's one of the things I always like to reinforce over here. You don't always have to buy a book while everybody is chasing it. That causes the prices to go up, and it makes you have to spend more money for the book. If you're patient enough, you can wait for books to come down, and then you can catch them at a more reasonable price, which in turn saves you money on the back end. Who doesn't want to save any money? I don't know. That's just my philosophy. All right. So, Star Wars High Republic, issue number 1. Keep your eye out on it because it's moving on the secondary market. All right, guys. At the list at number 7, we have to talk about this Marvel comic here, and this is Solo Avengers, issue number 1, and the first appearance of Buck Chisholm, who also became Trickshot. Yeah, this book is hot. Now, I don't know if this is in reference to the book or if it has any correlation to the book, but so I was watching Echo, which in turn made me go back and watch a little bit of Hawkeye. So yeah, Kate Bishop's Hawkeye. So you can actually see how Marvel is setting up to take us into that next phase of the Marvel Universe, right? And I think they're off to a great start, which made me go back and I found this book, Solo Avengers, issue number 1. Average price for a raw copy is $4. It is up 61% right now. Average price for a graded copy is $55. Now, there's been 299 sales of this book on the secondary market, with a high of $114 for the 9.8. Now, fair market value has it resting at $4 for a raw copy in fine condition. But given the information that we're going to start seeing coming from Echo, I'd be interested to see how much of this particular book spills over into the small screen. Right, so this is just one for the speculators. I mean, if you like speculating, I think that this book is going to service as one of those that you could probably put a quick flip on it, make a couple of extra dollars while this series is going on. So just keep your eye out on it because it's definitely moving on the secondary market. And Solo Avengers issue number 1. That's the title. And don't mind me, ladies and gentlemen. I've been battling the flu all week long. You probably hear it in my voice, but I wanted to make sure I got this video out to you guys. So bear with me. At the list at number 6, another Strike While the Iron is Cold moment. Yes, we're getting 2 back-to-back. Strike While the Iron is Cold. And this title is X-Men, issue number 107. The First Starjammers. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this book is down 0.20%. Average price for a raw copy, $67. Average price for a graded copy, $920. With 994 total sales so far that has transpired on the secondary market. We have a high sale that took place back in 2021 where CGC 9.8 sold for $8,070. That's a lot of money, right? But fair market value has this book resting at $67 for a raw copy in fine condition. X-Men, first Starjammers. We don't know who we're going to see, but I know the comic book community is anticipating a lot of individuals popping up when we start seeing these characters. We're about to get our Deadpool, Wolverine. That's going to open up the door for our X-Men. There's no telling who we're about to see, but we know we're going to see some people. So keep your eye out on this book because it's moving on the secondary market. X-Men, issue number 107. Excuse me. Oh, man, I needed that. All right, guys, we have made it to the halfway mark. So allow me to take this opportunity to just do what I always do, is just stop, take a deep breath, and thank each and every one of you for checking out the channel. If this is your first time, please consider subscribing to the channel. We drop a top 10 list every week. We do other videos, unboxings. I get new comic books and new Grails unboxings, CGCs. We do quite a few things. I do comic book video hauls from time to time. I originally started out doing comic book video hauls, but I have adjusted the channel, and now we do more top 10, and we just surround everything around that, right? But yeah, like, subscribe, share, ring the bell. It's light and fluffy over here. No pressure. You know what I mean? We're just having fun, enjoying the hobby. And I always, at this time, like to ask a question. And it's a trivia question. So your trivia question for this week is, where is Colossus from? Yes, comment down below. Who knows where Colossus is from? Tell us. Leave it in the comment section. No, don't shout it out. Just put it in the comment section. All right? Yes. It's good vibes only, ladies and gentlemen. We do it for the love. We do it for the culture. So check your nonsense at the door. And make sure you stick around at the end, because I'm going to reveal to you who won last week's Keep It Comics giveaway. Yeah, we do giveaways over here too. Absolutely. All right, so I appreciate you guys. Now, let's get back to business. At the list at number 5, ladies and gentlemen, let's talk about Batman, issue number 457, and this is the first appearance of Tim Drake as Robin. Now, this book has been up and down all over the place on the market forever and a day, right? It's always getting love, so I don't ever see it going anywhere, but it's on the rise right now. It is up 14.20%, with average price for a raw copy being $11. Average price for a graded copy is $94. We've had a total of 1,181 copies of this book that is sold so far on the secondary market, and it continues to increase. All right, we had a high sale that took place back in 2022 where CGC 9.8 sold for $199. Yes, so I think that's a great price point for buying for this particular book. Iconic moment, iconic character. Tim Drake, you gotta love him, right? So if you're a fan of his, make sure you grab this book because it's on the move right now. Fair market value has it resting at $11 for a raw copy in very fine condition. But those 9/8, and whether it be graded or in raw condition, are at an excellent price point for buying. So keep your eye on it because they're moving on the secondary market. At the list at number 4, we have yet another strike while the iron is cold moment. Yes, every book doesn't have to be super hot in order for it to be hot. Remember that. Let's talk about one of our favorite characters created by none other than the Todd Father himself. Let's talk about Spawn, issue number 3, and this is the first Cyan Fitzgerald, and she was a child. Who later became Black Mirror, the adult version of Black Mirror. She was a child who later became the adult version of Black Mirror. All right, this book is down 2.82%. Average price for a raw copy is $9. Average price for a graded copy is $52. There's been 1,258 total sales for this book so far, right? With a high sale of $140. Now, keep this in mind, because fair market value has this book at $9 for a raw copy in near mint condition. So that can save you a lot of money also, all right? You can go for the raw copy, get it for $9. You can send it in at your leisure, get it graded, and get whatever you think may come back for it. It's always a good opportunity. You can get a high grade if you send this out to get it graded. All right, so keep your eye out for Spawn, issue number 3. It's moving on the secondary market. All right, ladies and gentlemen, at the list at number 3. Yes, this was a series that was hot for a long time, right? The Watchmen, issue number 1. Yeah, everybody was going crazy for this series when it was out, right? It's the first appearance of the Watchmen, all right? Now, this book is also down. Yes, another strike while the iron is cold moment. These are books that were hot, so hot that they shot up, but they have come down considerably and are very affordable and obtainable right now. That's why I'm sharing this information with you. I mean, we can get into the feeding frenzy that's happening with the other comics and their the other channels and their 10 lists, and you know, we can get into all of that, and we can go pay the high prices for books that are going to be, you know, high price right now. They're just going to drop in price. Yeah, they're just going to drop in price because what goes up must come down. All right, so average price for a raw copy right now is $30. Yes, Watchmen, issue number 1. Average price, $30. Average graded price, $120. 1,972 copies of this book has moved on the secondary market, and it continues to move numbers. All right, now we had a high sale back in 2021 where a CGC 9.8 sold for $1,300. Right, that was back in 2021. $1,300 for a 9.8. Now, you can get this book in a 9.8 for a much lower price than that. That's what I'm talking about. It's a classic read. It's got first appearances in it too. Did I mention the beautiful artwork? Oh man, that's a threefer. Go figure. Yes. All right. So, fair market value has this book resting at $30 for a raw copy in very fine condition. But this is definitely a book that's worthy of any collector's PC, especially if you love a good read. This is the beginning of one. All right, so keep your eye out for Watchmen, issue number 1, because it's moving on the secondary market. All right, ladies and gentlemen, at the list at number 2, we've got another hot book that came out just a week ago. It is doing numbers on the secondary market, and we have to talk about Kid Venom. Yes, Kid Venom. And this is that 1 in 25 Touring Clark variant. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, this book continues to do numbers, right? I have to have this book in my collection. I actually don't have the 1 in 25. I've got a few of the other covers, but I don't have the 1 in 25. But I will be getting my hand on it. That's why I'm sharing it with you, because it's a book that I'm interested in, and it's also a good read. All right, so it's up 3.73%. Average price for a raw copy right now is $53. All right, there is no graded information on this book as of yet because it's still new, but there has been 39 total sales so far on the secondary market. And we had a high sale that took place back in January 15th where a raw copy in near mint condition sold for $60. All right, so a high of $60 for a raw copy back in January 15th. But we can still keep an eye out on it because fair market value has it resting at $53 for a raw copy in near mint condition. So I see these prices coming down. If I'm just a little bit more patient, I probably can land this book for roughly about 25. Get it for like ratio, or maybe even a little bit under if I'm patient and I play my game right. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, Kid Venom, issue number 1, that Touring Clark 1 in 25 variant. Keep your eye out on it. It's definitely doing numbers on the secondary market. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have made it to the number 1 comic book on the secondary market. Be sure to like, subscribe, ring the bell, so every time I drop a video, you guys will get that notification. It's a hot 10 list each week that you're not going to want to miss. It's not what he's got and it's not what she's got. But what we have over here is something special. It's no strings attached. It's good vibes only, ladies and gentlemen. Let's talk about it. Star Wars, issue number 1. Yes, Star Wars, issue number 001. I've always wanted to say that. 001, right? It's Star Wars 001. And this is the first series after Marvel reacquired the franchise after getting it from getting the property back from Dark Horse. Yes. After getting the property back from Dark Horse. So this is that first series, right? So this book is up 0.66%. Average price for a raw copy is $6. Average price for a graded copy is $83. There's been a total of 783 sales that have moved over the secondary market thus far. This book's continued to go up too. These books are selling all over the place, right? Now, we had a high sale that took place back in 2023 where CGC 9.8 sold for $90. But like I said, fair market value has this book resting for $6 for a raw copy in near mint condition. Star Wars franchise is continuing to do phenomenal with flushing out this flushing out this universe, man. I've been enjoying all the reads. I'm just ecstatic of how the numbers continue to just increase in copies sold in this particular book. But it's got great artwork stitched to it too. Great artwork, great story, great interior. I mean, you can't go wrong with this book. And Star Wars fans are like Trekkie fans, man. They're in drones. They come out in drones. So I respect it. And this one is for you. Star Wars, issue number 001. Yeah, that first series when Marvel reacquired the franchise from Dark Horse. So here, the property from Dark Horse. So this one is definitely going to continue to do numbers on the secondary market. Very low price point for buy-in. You're not going to want to miss this one. All right. Which one of these books do you have in your collection? I've got a couple of them, but I'm looking to add a couple more to them. All right. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. That's your list. And before you go, let's announce our last week's winner. Claude Reisner. Yes, Claude Reisner. You won last week's Keep It Comics giveaway. Thank you for the encouraging comment. Thank you for subscribing to the channel. Hit me up on c.3.comics and Instagram, and we'll exchange information, and I'll fly this right out to you. I appreciate you. You know what I always say, don't hate, congratulate. Show some love, because that don't cost you nothing. Appreciate it. But no matter what you do, always keep it comics. Good vibes only. You know what it is. Later, Gators.